Hello, everybody. Josh Chernoff here for the Apter Chat and OneWrestling.com, and I am joined by Dave Millican, the creator of these championship belts, the belt maker to the stars, if you will. Dave, can you tell us a little bit about what we have here? Some of the belts that I've got over my shoulder and, of course, around my waist. Some of the history of these.
Yeah, you've got crazy history there, Josh. The WWE Intercontinental Championship worn by, we're in town here for All In. Cody Rhodes was the guy that debuted this title, brought it back, gave it life again, so to speak. So right now, doesn't get any better than the fact to say that Cody Rhodes wore that one. Down here, we got, how about Stone Cold Steve Austin? How about we got The Rock? We got Chris Jericho. Oh my gosh, Kurt Angle, Triple H. So we got all this history down here. We're going to pan back up here and talk about this Intercontinental. I didn't make that one, but I made this one, so let's talk about that one.
Yeah, right.
Let's talk about that one. But again, man, that all the way go through Dolph Ziggler, Chris Jericho. But the table, we run the gamut here, man. We've got everything from old school Memphis from 1982 to WWE this year.
Okay, can you show us a couple of the?
Yeah. Well, we got Memphis. We got Memphis down on this table.
We'll walk here. All right.
So what we got right here, Memphis, the red and gold AWA Southern Tag Team belt. Shawn Michaels would have worn this belt in like 1987. Of course, Memphis, so the King wore it. Jerry Lawler. You've got the fabulous ones. All the Memphis legends wore that belt, the Southern Tag Team title. And then you can just go right over to the other side there and see the TNA Legends belt. So if you're talking about a wide run of history there, covers a whole lot of years.
Absolutely. And of course there's some on here that you can kind of see how they changed over the years. Yeah, grab that. From the ECW Championship, I guess that's their original one.
That is.
To the one they had at the end of their run.
Correct.
And what about something like this?
That is, whoa, what a piece of history.
I'm assuming you didn't make this one.
I did not make this. I would have been a whippersnapper when this was made. This AWA World Tag Team Championship that was worn all the way back to the Crusher and the Bruiser. Nick Bockwinkel and Ray Stevens. Went all the way up through legendary teams like that to the Road Warriors.
Wow. And
the Road Warriors are the guys that took these home. And so Road Warrior Animal actually signed that one on the back. Yeah, just authenticating it. Not that you really need that because you
can tell. This is ring worn.
Kind of speaks for itself for sure. But yeah, so we're covering the gamut here. We got it all covered.
And then of course behind us here we have a Ric Flair robe, which again, unfortunately you didn't make this one.
Didn't make that.
But can you tell us a little bit about what's next to it? The Big Gold, as it's known. What's the history behind this specific one here?
This specific belt is the belt. This is the Big Gold belt. This is the original Big Gold belt. No matter how many copies you've seen, no matter it's even been casted, and cast copies have been used on television. Mm-hmm. But no matter what you see, this is the one. This debuted February 1986 with Ric Flair. So we've got that, and then it's got its battle scars. But here's the tell: if you can zoom in on this and see the bend at the top.
Yep.
And we don't really even know how that happened, but we know that when Bobby Heenan's showing up with it on WWE TV, it's already got the bend at the top. Yeah, and so that's it. This is going to be, and I'd love to say I made it, but I was a teenager when it was made. This is going to be, you're going to probably call this one of the 2 or 3 most legendary belts ever in pro wrestling, and is absolutely the most copied belt of all time.
So when Hulk Hogan spray painted the NWO, was it this belt?
It was this belt. It was this belt, and to the point that...
They cleaned it off real nice.
Well, that actually, to tell you the truth, when some friends and I got a hold of it to authenticate it and inspect it, we actually helped get some of the residue out of it because it was still there.
Wow.
Yeah.
After all those years.
All those years.
All right, what's one more belt on here that you would say maybe you're most proud of, or maybe it's not even here, of the ones that you've created yourself?
The one that's not here would be the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. That's just Kenny Omega is the champion now. That's probably for modern day, probably the most iconic thing that I'm associated with. But as far as prized possessions, we're in the right spot.
Oh, wow.
I took this 1991 to 1994 WCW World Championship out of a case specifically to bring it here to Starrcast. And this is, a lot of belts we talk about Intercontinental Championships and United States Championships, and they're different versions of them. And I might have made, 6 different Intercontinental titles or 8 different Intercontinental titles. Well, not with this. There was one. So when you see it on television, when you see the old videos and you see whether it's Ron Simmons or Vader or Lex Luger or Ric Flair or Sting, this is the belt. So when it comes to prized possessions, and I'm going to show you the WCW champion tip there, which most people don't even know is there. A little piece of little belt nerd trivia for you there.
Now something's missing back here.
Yeah, and that's a great authenticator too, because you can kind of see in the Ron Simmons and Vader days that it's already starting to break, and they were kind of rough on it, and they even broke the tip here a little bit. But yeah, there was a WCW World Champion logo plate that used to be there. But yeah, man, as far as history goes for me, this is that's a pretty cool thing to have.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all that with us. And I look forward to seeing the next belt that you make.
Thanks, Josh.
All right,
man.
Thank you.